Hello, and welcome to the Pick and Ban Podcast. We're your hosts. I'm Thresht in Peace.
And I'm the Tristana bot.
We're going to be bringing you some newsy goodness with some podcasty flair. I'm a support main, and I play Thresht a lot. That's why my name is Thresht in Peace. If you want to add me on League of Legends, I play on the North American server.
I also play on the North American server with my comrade Thresht in Peace. I main ADC and play a lot of Tristana.
On the Pick and Ban Podcast, we're going to go over a whole spread of information from the League community. Hopefully we can give you some insight into things. We're going to start with some patch notes today. Starting out, Kindred will be released this patch.
He actually got pushed back to 5.20. Yes, he did get pushed back. Well, unfortunately.
I read the notes wrong this morning, apparently.
Well, the notes still say he comes out then.
How does it? Some more stuff. Miss Fortune does a little bit more damage now. She's still pretty useless, but
maybe one day we'll live in a world where she is viable.
I doubt it, because Vi is much better. Have you had to deal with a new patience bar yet?
Other than infinitely stacking Draven's rolling axes, no, I have not.
I have not seen that. Does that actually happen?
Yeah, over the wall, Gromp will no longer follow you.
Yeah, you can't kill it over the wall.
And you can infinitely stack your adoration and then cash in for big money. Also, the infinite lifesteal is hella helpful as an ADC main.
Do you use that? Do you tag Gromp over the wall? Or have you
have used it once to test the patch notes, and I don't know how this patience bar will work with that.
Being someone who doesn't jungle ever because I fucking suck at it, the only thing I knew about the patience bar is it gets in the way of the health bar, and I can't see the health bar usually. I didn't know that you can't get over walls anymore or anything like that. It's pretty shitty.
Yeah, I experienced the same thing since I like to play jungle as my second main. I had no idea what it was until I read the patch notes, and that's why we're here to explain this to you so you don't have to read it.
The first time I was giving a leash after that patch came out, I accidentally took the buff because I couldn't see the health bar. I didn't know which bar was the health bar, and then before I realized it, he had smited it, and I took the buff.
I'm sure your jungler really appreciated that.
Luckily, it was my Smurf account, so he didn't really care that much, and he just AFK'd. We still won.
And he probably didn't notice anyways.
Another cool thing they added this patch was the world's alerts.
That is very handy. I hope they keep that throughout the LCS and it doesn't end with this 2015 Worlds.
It is pretty awesome.
It is. It's very handy because I would always watch the games after the fact when I saw the post on Reddit that was a spoiler.
Also, I wish they would tell you the time spent in the game currently, because I hate when I click on it and the game's over and it's in like the post. They're just talking about it and the guy, look, fucking missed it.
Yeah, I'll get a notification right as I get out of a game that it's starting soon and click on it to see the award ceremony.
I don't remember which game it was, but it was some game I was really excited to see, and I thought it was on, so I clicked on it, and then it was a different game.
Yeah, that's happened to me once too.
Have you seen any new skins up on this patch?
I have. I'm probably most excited for the Kindred release skin. It looks really, really wonderful. Shadowfire Kindred is probably my favorite release skin in quite some time.
Have you seen any of the new Matador or Warden skins in the game?
I have not seen them in game yet. I contemplated buying some of them, but I decided against it. If I got any of them, I'd probably get Marauder Olaf because I played a lot of Olaf in Season 3, and now that he's viable again, I'm very excited.
Olaf's really fun. I played him the other day, actually.
He is a lot of fun.
I hate the Marauder and the Warden skins, honestly. I don't think they look that great.
Yeah, and I think that some of them could have used a little bit more creativity, like the Nautilus one from the last wave. I was not as impressed with.
I wish they would have given it to somebody else besides Karma. I got really excited because I thought it was, I don't know, some other chick caster, but it was just Karma. Like, no one plays Karma anymore.
Yeah, Karma is definitely underused nowadays, whereas she was the most cancerous support poke bot lane there was.
I'm pretty sure I still have a 100% KD ratio with Karma and ranked. Played one game with her and didn't even die.
Well, if you play another one, I'm sure that would change.
That's why I don't play anymore. There's some new changes in the PvE recently. Some new skins come out, like Spirit Fire Brand, which I honestly hate.
Yeah.
If you're playing Brand and you don't have the zombie skin, you're not playing Brand right.
Yeah, the zombie skin is the only one worth having.
Have you heard about the whole controversy over the glitch in the spectator mode with Zombie Brand?
Yes, I did see that, where his arms will flail when he approaches an enemy that he does not have vision of.
That's only in spectator mode. It's not in the actual game.
Yep, only in spectator mode, and the people on the enemy team that are hiding in the bush can also see it.
In spectator mode or just in the game?
In the game, the enemy team can see it if they have vision on Brand and he's coming towards them, but the Brand himself can no longer see it. I send thanks to the Reddit community for solving that for all of us lazy leaguers out here.
Right. I had no clue that the enemy team could see that. I thought it was just the spectator mode. Some other new skins coming out in the PvE are Cosmic Reaver Cassidon. Have you seen that one? Because it looks fucking dope.
I have not seen Cosmic Reaver Cassidon.
I'm going to pull it up because you guys see this thing. There needs to be more Cosmic Reaver skins. I think, is this the first Cosmic Reaver skin that you've heard of?
Yeah, I have not heard of any other Cosmic Reaver skin.
I saw a Cosmic Reaver idea for Kog'Maw. This thing is pretty dope. It looks fucking awesome to me.
That does look really awesome. The mask is very, very Studio Ghibli-esque.
Oh, yeah, baby. Even that cosmic booty. Alright, anyway. There's also Demon Vi. The fuck was that? Demon Vi.
Demon Vi. I have not seen that one either. I have not been keeping up with the PvE because Riot refuses to give me an account.
How many times have you tried to get into that thing? Because I've applied like 4 times.
I have applied much more than I can count because I really enjoy playing all of the new things that Riot puts out, and I think it would be awesome to get it a week before everybody else.
Look at this skin. It's so red. Is she smoking? Oh, she's even smoking.
Oh, that's awesome.
Riot now supports tobacco use.
But Graves still doesn't get his cigar. Shame on them.
She got wings. It's pretty neat. Excited to see that in game. You gonna purchase Demon Vi?
I will definitely be purchasing Demon Vi because I am an adamant Vi jungler, more so in Season 4, but I still play Vi jungle every now and then, and I'd love to spread the cancer of her ult to everybody I play against.
And Alex, guess what game mode's coming back soon?
One for all.
One for all. It's on the PvE right now. It hasn't been around for a while. There's a whole list of champions that weren't out when it came out the first time.
I'm really excited for 5 Tristanas versus 5 Tristanas.
Or think about Callista. 5 Callistas.
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine the fates calling.
The Callista Siesta. That didn't rhyme. Oops. Darius got nerfed in the PvE, but it was just barely.
I definitely cannot blame them because with the amount of sheer damage his bleeding does and his infinite dunk reset, I think that it was about time for a Darius nerf so I can stop banning him.
Right. Mundo got a little bit of a buff. Eve, how you play Eve a lot? Have you played Eve a lot?
I haven't played Eve since the Runeglaive nerfs, but
for this season?
I played her earlier this season, but I have not played her since the Runeglaive got nerfed.
Because I've never played Eve before, so I don't know how much this actually means, but her Dark Frenzy costs 40 mana now instead of 0.
I could see that posing a particular problem for Eve players, especially since you're constantly mashing your face against Q, so mana is already a problem as it is, having a spell that has less than a second cooldown, so...
Yeah. They're going the Lucian route, they're going to make them cost mana. Are you excited for Kindred coming out?
I am very excited for Kindred coming out. I wish I would have been able to play him before the nerf on Devour for ranged champions, because I think that may have the potential to hurt his play a lot, and I feel like this nerf was directly aimed at him.
How many ranged junglers are there? Just one? Is this Kindred the first one? I can't think of any other in my head.
I can't think of any other ranged junglers other than Elise human form, but... even then, she generally build the warrior enchantment, so I think that this hurts Kindred more than anybody.
Now, I went through... Did you see the Kindred Q&A?
I did not.
I read it, and there were only a handful of actual questions about the champion in terms of like gameplay and stuff, and there was a butt ton of just random, like, what does Kindred like to eat for breakfast? So I went through a bunch of those just to find a couple little insights on the champion. Kindred and Karthus are going to share some lore background, but not yet. Karthus is getting a expanded champion spotlight, and when that comes out, you'll see Kindred in his background. Not now. What do you expect Kindred to be like when it comes out?
I expect people to experiment a lot with him because since they are trying to change it up by putting an ADC or a marksman rather in the jungle, I think that it will definitely affect the play, whereas it's not just a champion who can rush sated and dish out a lot of CC, and more of a champion that will make more plays around the map based on the marking of champions. I think that will be an interesting change into the jungle path.
I don't know if I've watched quite a few Kindred games from the PBE on YouTube, and I honestly don't think she looks that powerful. And I may have just watched not the right videos, because there might be some people out there that play her like fucking monsters, but from what I've seen, she's not like... I feel like this would be the first champion that comes out that's not going to be overpowered immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Which might be due to her being in development for so long. Not development, but like being on the PBE for so long. She's not out to the public yet. But she doesn't seem like she's going to be OP.
Yeah, I think there will definitely be some experimentation to find where her real forte is. Some people might even experiment with her playing in other lanes as well, because everybody knows with champions like Tom Kinch and Echo and other things like that champions don't always go into the lane that Riot might have preferred. But I think that with the marking capabilities, that she might even have the chance to play in a position like top, where Garen's marking definitely can affect the teleports and other roams that Garen could possibly change the game with.
See, I see Garen's mark, and I never noticed it doing any difference. Like, maybe if the mark was in lane, it might do a huge difference. But, like, whenever I'm playing mid and I get that stupid mark on me, I'm like, okay, great. I'll never see it happen, because Garen's always top.
Yep, that's very, very true. And I think that with Kindred's mechanic of being able to choose the marked champion, that
help a lot.
It might definitely be able to snowball leads a lot quicker with being able to pick which lane you want to absolutely destroy in your next gank.
I watched her, people take her ADC quite a lot because she is a marksman, but she seems to be a pretty weak marksman because her range isn't that great of a marksman. It's like, I'm pretty sure Thresh's range is longer than hers. So that makes her pretty susceptible to ganks and harass in lane.
Yeah, and that'll definitely be very difficult for her to win trades against somebody who has a monstrous amount of CC and a massive range like a champion like Ashe, because you go in to try and win a trade and she has to auto you a few times, and her perpetual slow will almost guarantee that you will not win that trade.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ashe is stupid. Don't play Ashe. Although her, I think it's her W, which is the wolf, when you make wolf attack somebody, is pretty strong, so that kind of makes up for her weak auto attack range, but still it's not enough to, like, you can't win a trade with it, I feel like.
Yeah, I'm definitely interested in seeing how people itemize her to maximize ganking and clearing. I'm kind of curious to see if maybe they will build a Runeans or something to help her clearing time, just so she will be able to attack the little creeps at the same time, because I have a feeling that she will not be nearly as tanky and will not be susceptible as to just tanking the damage from the little creatures as some of our Cinder Hulk junglers that we know so well.
I feel like after watching her jungle for a while, Callista could almost jungle. I have never seen anyone try to jungle Callista.
I could see that possibly happening, especially with the Runeans build and her just insane clear with the rend that she would be able to have, since she basically has a smite that is dependent on her attack speed.
The downside would be the Fate's Call would be pretty iffy. You'd have to gank the same lane a lot.
Yeah, you'd have to have some pretty good guesswork into...
or you just put on your ADC, and you can always save them during team fights, but...
That's true.
There's not very many good Callistas right now, especially in low elos. They just fake call you for no reason.
That's very true, and a lot of the very popular solo queue ADCs at the moment have pretty good escapes. Tristana is, I consider, a flavor of the month right now, and she has one of the best escapes in the game, so that might render Callista's ultimate useless in jungle gameplay.
I really want to see how Kindred's ultimate is going to affect things, because it seems really weird. I don't remember. Can you move around when you're ulted by, not Callista, by Kindred?
I don't know. I actually have not done too much research into that as far as the actual gameplay and how it affects the momentum of the actual game itself and other things like that. That'll just be something we'll have to find out.
I watched a couple Kindred games, but I don't remember ever seeing her ult. But I feel like you shouldn't be able to move if it's kind of like a Zanya's. But I don't really know for sure. Where the heck is it? Kindred. Well, because I know when I watched the champion spotlight on Kindred, it showed her ultimate, but she wasn't walking around, but she was like still doing like the little idle animations where you kind of just not like you do when you're Bard ulted or use Zonya's. So I don't really know. Okay, well, can't find it. Whatever, doesn't matter. We'll see when it comes out next patch, which is hopefully out next week or into this week. I don't think this week. I think it's next week.
Yeah, it should be next week because PvE just got it earlier this week, so should be expecting to see 5.2 coming out soon.
You think Kindred's going to be out immediately or like wait a little bit after the patch?
That I'm not too sure about. Since they pushed him back, I would really, really love if they had him out by 5.2. But knowing Riot, they will probably just have the same cop-out of he will be released some point during patch 5.2.
And then halfway through, sorry, 5.3.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, like I said, I don't think she's going to be OP. She doesn't look like she's totally overpowered like most champions are immediately when they come out. I think they've spent enough time holding her back from us that they've got to tweak her a bunch. And the PvE doesn't seem like she's in every game.
Yeah, and I think that the nerf to Devourer was definitely a great preemptive move on Riot because I think without that nerf to the ranged champions, she would just be damaging just an insane amount of people with the Phantom hit on that, especially since marksmen tend to build attack speeds, so they'd be able to proc it much more often than some of the other junglers.
Do you know how to report bugs?
You can go to the League of Legends support page and report any bugs. It is actually one of their topics that they give you that you can send them a report on.
Okay. I didn't know. I was playing yesterday on my Smurf account. I have a Smurf named Ari. And the second tier turret on the red side, you know how there's like, the turret is in the lane, and then on the left of the turret, there's a bush here. I was hit by the turret in that bush just one time. It killed me. But I wasn't near that turret. I was just walking through the bush, and then bam, turret got me.
Yeah, I have noticed that ever since they actually changed Summoner's Rift with the release of the Season 5 patch, that it seems that the turret range is a little bit longer than it used to be as far as once you have aggro. I seem to take one extra turret hit as I'm leaving the ring because it seems as if the damage zone is a little bit larger once you already have aggro.
I feel like you used to have a window of time where if you entered the turret range as the last minion on your team was dying, like as that last hit was connecting with it, you'd have like a second you could get in there and use an ability or whatever. But now it does it sometimes. Sometimes it'll like instantly fire another shot at you. It's really annoying.
Yeah, I have noticed that the reaction time for that is much, much quicker. As a Trist main, I will generally stack my bomb on the turret, and in my games, the timing of the turnaround and leaving aggro just as it explodes to damage a champion is much, much slower without taking a shot, and it's very hard to get the aggro to go on you and not take a shot before you get out of the turret range.
Truth. Let's move on to the Worlds recap. As you guys probably know, Worlds is going on right now. Last week was the first week of group stages. This week is the second week of group stages. And did you watch most of the games, Alex?
Yes, I've watched most of the games. I'm very upset by my Pick'em's choices because this has not gone the way it is planned. I saw somebody had done the math on the leaderboards from the Pick'em's and have discovered that only around the 150 area of people are actually 100% correct with their current pick'ems.
I feel like you'd have to have either like a very strong liking of Cloud9 to win Group B, or you would have had to just randomly assign your pick'ems because there's like almost no way you could have gotten this. I feel sorry for the guy that put Bangkok Titans first in their group.
Yes, I also feel sorry for them. I wish I had hundreds of Smurfs so I could attempt to guess at getting that Riven
I should have done my Smurfs. I didn't even think about that.
I did not think about it either.
So last week in Group A, CLG and Q Tigers are leading their group 2-1, leaving Flash Wolves and Pain Gaming 1-2. Still, next week, anyone can take first and second place in that group. It's not decided yet. Although I do see CLG winning and Q Tigers coming in second. Maybe first, I don't know.
Yeah, the Q Tigers would definitely have to out-surprise the surprisers in CLG because CLG has quite a very unique way of playing where they can pick somebody unexpected and take everybody off guard, and I think that has to do with some of their success.
Now, we'll say I do feel like Flash Wolves could also be a contender for at least second place, not first. But Pain Gaming is probably leaving last.
Yes, we definitely did not give any of the Thai teams as much credit as they deserved because Flash Wolves definitely did come out and surprise us, much like TPA did in Season 3.
Where is TPA now?
TPA has long gone, as Toys is also long gone.
Is Bebe still on a team? Is TPA still a team, just not great? I haven't heard anything about
them. I know
them.
that they were last season. I haven't heard anything about them this season, but I also was not following the Thai LPL.
Their games are like a roller coaster. They got really good and then really bad really fast.
That seems to be the trend we have set in League of Legends, because Cloud9 has definitely got their head on straight and
I mean in terms of people who've won Worlds at least one time. Like, everyone else who's won Worlds is still like around and still considered a contender for winning Worlds, but they're not.
That's very, very true.
In Group B, Cloud9 is 3-0. And I don't know how they are doing that.
That definitely was the most surprising thing. I placed Cloud9 third on my pick'ems and did not expect them to come out nearly as strong as they have in their difficult group.
I think what's going on? I think Sneaky gives Drew a good head.
Sneaky must.
I did not see them. Well, I didn't see them making Worlds at all because they did terrible in that season. Well, not terrible. They did lackluster. But they pulled through the last second, and then now they're just leading their group like it's no one's business.
Yeah, them clinching the spot at the very end of the summer split, I did not think it was going to have this much impact on the Worlds tournament as it has.
I wish Team Liquid would have gotten to Worlds. I feel like, well, never mind. I was going to say I feel like they would do better than Cloud9, but right now you can't do better than Cloud9, so I guess we don't know that yet. But they should have been at Worlds.
I think that Team Liquid definitely would have made a adequate replacement for TSM, because
that's true.
TSM's lackluster performance is exactly as everybody expected.
In Group C, this might be a surprise to you, but SKT is in first.
Yeah, the one group that everybody will get right was the SKT group. Big surprise.
And, well, hopefully you had EDG second, too.
Yes, I definitely had EDG second.
Although, some people might have them first because they did beat them MSI. But, yeah, and then Bangkok Titans. I can't imagine what that team is feeling right now.
Yeah, I would definitely be embarrassed if I was the Bangkok Titans.
Although, if you watch their games, their top laner Warlock is actually pretty decent. I think he's had a positive KD spread in most of their games at the LCS, or the Worlds. But still, overall, their team is Bangkok Titans. Good.
Yes, it's just as what we have expected from the international wild cards. They generally are in a pretty bad spot to start off the Worlds, especially against the dominating Korean and China circuit. But the China circuit actually was the biggest surprise this year. My LGD first place pick did not turn out nearly as well as I had expected.
The Bangkok Titans have actually been first in their LCS for like the last 3 seasons, which I don't know how that's possible. I want to see the worst team ever in their league.
Yeah, it's the same way with Pain Gaming. They may be a dominant group when it comes to the Brazilian server and the Brazilian competitive scene, but when put against these regions that basically live and breathe the game, then it's definitely a whole new ballgame.
It's insane. And in Group D, Origin is in first, and I am not mad about that.
I am also not mad. I am very happy to see SOAS and XPeke succeed. I think that they are definitely very underrated.
The top lane skin has to have a baguette instead of a sword for Fiora.
Yes, the Fiora baguette skin must happen, and that's the biggest reason I want SOAS to win.
Oh, man. A team full of backdoorers.
Yeah, backdoorers. But
KT's also in second place. Or do you know KT's KD spread or KT's win spread, I guess? I don't know.
KT is currently tied with
Origin?
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't know if they were 3-0 or 2-1. I didn't write that down. But yeah, and I'm really hoping, and I feel like this is not going to be the case, I hope that TSM will pull their shit together.
I cannot see that happening.
I bought this jacket for no reason, Alex.
I also have placed my eggs in the TSM basket for so long, and I think that now we are definitely relying on CLG and C9 for the first North American win of
I hope
the
so.
World
I don't
Championship.
even care which one wins it. Just any of the NA teams can just take it, and I'll be glad.
I just want them to win so the EU fans can finally stop giving us so much crap.
And the Koreans.
Yes, and the Koreans, but they have admitted to being surprised by how well the Western teams are competing this year, because we have definitely stepped our game up from last year.
Faker did say that Bjergsen was his... Well, he said NA, but Bjergsen's not really from NA yet. His North American equivalent. And you said you thought he was being humble, but I can see that actually being true. They are pretty close.
Yes, I will admit that Bjergsen is a very, very dominant mid laner. His performance through the TSM games have been absolutely stellar, whereas Santorin and Dyrus and Wild Turtle have definitely been slacking.
Oh, man. I think TSM would have been better if they kept going on their route of giving every resource into the mid lane where Bjergsen can use it. I know that in this meta, the top lane is more important than mid lane now, but Dyrus isn't really a carry top laner. He's more of a support top laner. Although the game against LGD, he did fucking awesome, but I just feel like they would have a better strategy if they just kept being TSM.
That's very true. I'm still hoping with the Dyrus retirement that maybe LGD will disband and we could get Flame and put him on a team.
Or Impact.
Impact would be another amazing top.
In the North American LCS, so that seems more likely than getting Flame. Do you think when Dyrus retires, he's gonna send like a big 17-page essay about how much he hates TSM and just all his little bitchiness about it?
I sure hope not, because I hope that Dyrus has a positive experience since he has been with them since the beginning. I hope that he only has nice things to say, because TSM as an organization, I'm still in love with. I just have given up my faith in them being the ones to carry us North Americaners to victory.
I feel like, and this is getting off topic in terms of League of Legends, but TSM is a pretty strong organization across every game they're involved in. The CSGO team is awesome, and they picked up Leffen as their Smash guy, and he's doing great. Anyway, back to League of Legends. What are your predictions for who's going to get out of group stage? Let's start with Group A. You think it's going to be CLG and KU?
For Group A, it's definitely going to be CLG and KU. I do not think that Flash Wolves and Pain Gaming will be able to turn it around. Yes, Flash Wolves did surprise us with their one victory.
Pain Gaming actually had 152, but...
Yeah, but I definitely believe that CLG and KU Tigers will be coming out victorious.
I do agree with that one. I think that Flash Wolves could be able to surprise us and take second place from either KU or CLG, but I think CLG and KU Tigers are going to be the top contenders for Group A coming out of there. Group B, it's going to be Cloud9 and Fnatic. I don't see any other way around that.
Cloud9 and Fnatic are going to take it. Invictus Gaming, if they could get their heads on straight and definitely pull something crazy in this next stage of group stages, then they might have a chance, but I believe that Cloud9 and Fnatic will be taking this one.
I wish Fnatic looked so good during their LCS, and then they kind of just fell off at Worlds.
Yes, that's very, very true. I'm surprised to see them.
Although Cloud9 have the exactly opposite scenario going for them.
That's true, and I do see that Fnatic is still performing top tier enough to make it out of group stages, but their loss to C9 did surprise me, because I thought that if anybody in their group was going to dethrone C9 on their winning train, that it would have been Fnatic.
Group C, obviously, it's going to be the Bangkok Titans coming out first.
Quite clearly to come in and surprise everybody and sweep the next group stages and destroy them.
They are going to be... Last year was Dark Passage, the wild card. I feel like they were for Turkey.
Yeah, I believe it was Dark Passage and then Kaboom.
Oh, yeah, Kaboom esports. Wait, I think Kaboom might have been... No, Kaboom was from... I don't remember. But Dark Passage went 0-6. They're going to be the new Dark Passage.
Yep, that's definitely the trend for international wildcards.
I feel like they should just drop the whole wildcard thing altogether. It doesn't really serve as anything except for a laughing stock. Like, I watched the SKT versus Bangkok Titans game, and the casters were tearing them a new asshole.
Yep, that was definitely...
They're being so mean to that team.
A massacre pitting the number 1 team against what I believe to be the very last seed team.
Yeah. I would like to see the Bangkok Titans go against Pain Gaming. And I do feel like Pain Gaming would win, but...
I also feel Pain Gaming would wipe the floor with Bangkok Tigers.
All right, Group D. Who do you think you're going to see coming out of this one?
Well, Group D definitely threw me through a loop.
I'm going to say Origin, and my head's telling me KT roster. We'll get out second. But my heart's telling me TSM is going to pull it together.
I am definitely still hoping in my heart that TSM can make it out of group stage, so all North American teams can. But Origin has definitely pleasantly surprised me. In my picks, I put Origin third, right above TSM, KT Rolster second, and then LGD.
That's what mine is too.
It's turning out to be quite the opposite.
I can't believe LGD is in the last 0-3. They're doing as bad as the Bangkok Titans. How does that make them feel, you think?
I think they definitely had a harder group stage, so I think that plays a part into it because at least the Bangkok Titans could play against H2K, whereas LGD is playing against all teams that could potentially make something happen in their group stage.
But LGD came into this group stage looking so great, being one of the top teams from China, and then just trash basket the whole thing.
Yes, the Chinese community was definitely not too happy about that. I read some of their translated reaction posts to the LGD and Invictus Gaming performing so poorly.
And the last game between TSM and LGD, TSM won, and they did it in a very good fashion. But I don't know if that's because TSM was getting better at the end of their group stage, or in the first week of group stages, or if LGD was just playing like a trash can still. I don't know, but they did look pretty good winning. Yeah, and that's what gives me a little bit of chance that they can still pull out second place. Probably not first.
Yes, I definitely think that was a good sign for TSM. Very, very bad for LGD because in the Wild Turtle Uzi matchup, I definitely did not anticipate Wild Turtle doing as well as he did in that.
Jeez, I don't anticipate Wild Turtle doing good against any matchup anymore.
I know. I wish I could go back to the glory days where Wild Turtle was arguably one of the best ADCs in the league.
Whenever I think about Wild Turtle now, I think about the moment he decided to not recall inside of that bush in the game against CLG when they had just won a trade. And then he pretty much threw it for the whole team.
Yeah, I think it's time that they bring Keith McBrief back.
I don't know if he's on contract with TSM or Liquid now, because his Twitter name is still TSM Keith McBrief, but I don't know how long his contract was to be a sub for Liquid.
Yeah, all I know is now that he is given this much free time, he is dominating the solo queue and has held first in solo queue for quite some time now.
Although he did say he gained a lot of weight getting there.
Yeah, a lot of people think that LP gain and weight gain have a direct correlation.
That's not true. Look at me, Alex. Do I look like... Am I a challenger yet?
Yeah, by this point, I believe you should be challenger 1.
I wish that TSM would pick up Piglet.
I also agree that TSM should pick up a new ADC. I believe that...
I'm just saying, a Korean ADC would work well with Lust Boy being a Korean support.
I'm still banking on the LGD disbanding and TSM getting Uzi, though.
That'd be good too.
Because I think that Uzi might synergize a lot better with the team itself, because Piglet... he doesn't seem to enjoy being in North America very much. He performed substantially better in the Korean meta, and I think that that is probably where he would shine the most.
Did you read his translated thoughts on the North American organizations and stuff?
I have not seen the translated thoughts that Piglet has given.
I guess on this he streamed after after he lost to Cloud9, and after they got kicked out of the spot for Worlds, he streamed and he was talking in Korean, I guess to his Korean fans or something. I don't know exactly the context, but someone translated it and put it on Reddit, which I posted the video too. So I mean I don't really know if that's what he said or not, but what I'm going for. He said something about he didn't like the way that the Team Liquid organization was run. He didn't like the practice regime they did. And at the end of it, he just said that he was sick and he had to go home and go to the hospital. And I don't know what he meant by any of that stuff.
Yeah, I think that the North American scene definitely gave him a little bit of shell shock coming in here and not really knowing what to expect, because as Faker has pointed out, they really don't understand the North American scene as much as their dominance might imply, because Faker was definitely surprised when he saw how mechanically sound a lot of the Western players are.
I think that over the course of these 5 seasons, probably in the beginning, North America and Europe were considered the shitty regions, because I feel like Korea and China had more of the real-time strategy gaming feel, where we would be playing like first-person shooters. But after these 5 seasons and seeing how they do it, we're starting to do it like them, and we're getting better. I think now we are pretty much equivalent to Korean.
Yeah, I think that the Korean boot camp has definitely helped out a lot of the Western teams, because Cloud9, even though Balls only reached Diamond 2, that seemed to definitely help him out a lot as far as the basic mechanics of the game, whereas North Americans will almost always rotate to top 3-man and take the top tower, whereas the Korean lane swaps are completely different, and I think that it definitely has helped them out when they did their Korean boot camp, because the progress shows.
Back to TSM replacing Wild Turtle, I think as much as I would like to see Uzi on our team, I feel like we got to keep the number of languages spoken on a mainly North American team English as possible. I can see we're having like you have 3 players speak English, 2 players that speak broken English and Korean. That could work. I don't think that we have 3 speaking English, 1 speaking broken English and Korean, and then 1 speaking broken English and then broken Korean and then broken Chinese as well.
Yeah, I think that it might go in our favor, because Lust Boy and Loco Doco, they're both naturally from Korea, so I think that the language barrier there would definitely be quite lessened, because I know that just from the fact that Lust Boy and Loco Doco had so much in common, they have bonded quite a bit, and which also helps with their just extreme synchronization that TSM does have.
I also don't know if Uzi speaks any English whatsoever. Obviously, if he can speak English, not fluently, but like close to fluently, enough to get the point across of, kite, back up, whatever, then that could obviously work. But if it's just mostly Chinese and like just a couple phrases in English, I feel like that wouldn't work that well. and they spend a lot more time trying to teach him English than teaching him how to play against, with TSM against other teams.
Yeah, that's definitely a big factor that has to be looked into, as Starhorn Royal Club showed us last season. The language barrier is one of the most intimidating to conquer.
Which might have been one of Piglet's big downfalls, especially starting out. Although he talked about on his stream how he didn't think that they were training well enough and all these problems with the organization, but whenever you look back to like how they played, they were doing pretty well. I mean, his first games were just trash, but he was new to the region and he didn't speak the language, he didn't know the people. He also lost his phone the first day here, which would suck so bad. I can't imagine being in Korea with no phone.
Yeah, as someone who's been to foreign countries before, being somewhere all by yourself or with limited people that actually speak your language very fluently, it would definitely be very hard to overcome that, because I can't even imagine being trapped in a country that does not speak your language without any form of communication.
Speaking of worlds, and it's getting closer to the end of the season, which sucks for us who are trying to climb the ladder still, get to where we want to be. November 11th is the end of the season, and that's when you will receive the Victoria skin, which is
Unmasked Warden Sivir.
Why do you do this to us, Rito? Do you want us to quit playing your games?
Yeah, that was definitely... It wasn't necessarily surprising that Sivir got the skin, more as it was disappointing. I hope that the Challenger skin lives up to its hype and that they give it to somebody who really deserves it and they can make it look very innovative, whereas the Victorious Sivir skin, whereas I haven't had much view of it, seems to just be Unmasked Warden Sivir with the same color scheme and the same sort of armor scheme that they have used prior.
It's like the equivalent to getting a chroma.
Yeah, it's very much like getting a Warden Sivir chroma.
Actually, I think a chroma would have probably been better than just unmasked, because you're not even going to notice the mask part when playing, unless they make her face huge or something.
That's very true. I hope that they do something with her animations or something to make it more worthwhile and more innovative, like the Victoria skins in the past.
You know what they could have done? It could have been Rengar, Victoria Rengar, and it's just the one with the hood, but the hood's always up instead of always down.
Yeah,
look at that.
Same concept.
Next season, we get another Victoria skin.
Yeah, I was
the hood Rengar.
Definitely banking on Tristana to get it, especially since she has seen an explosion in solo queue and pro play due to just the massive amount of pushing and damage that she can put onto entire teams at a time.
I wonder if getting her rework was this season, right? Correct?
Yep, it was earlier this season.
I wonder if getting that rework played a part in her not getting the Victoria skin because she got something else this year. Because I think she's been equally as dominant in the solo queue and competitive scene as Sivir has.
I think that is definitely true as well. It could have played a part in it, but with some skins coming out like Academy Echo and other things like that, I feel like that sometimes they don't care if somebody or some skin has just been released. They will pile stuff on top of that.
True.
Where we are still waiting for some other skins for champions, and Callista and Echo have both gotten skins very, very recently.
That's very true. Excited to get your unmasked Sivir.
I am excited for the unmasked Sivir just because it will be my first Victoria skin, because this is the first season where I've put in enough effort in the climbing, but I wish that it would be somebody else, and I hope that the Challenger skin makes up for it.
Some final thoughts before I wrap this up. Who do you think the best ADC at Worlds right now is, in your opinion?
As far as best mechanically, that's a tough one. I'd say the one that has surprised me with their absolutely outstanding play would probably be Sneaky. I did not expect him to do nearly as well as he has done, and I definitely love watching him play Trist because he can teach a lot of people a lot of things about playing Trist.
I have almost been disappointed at Double Lift's play, even though it hasn't been like bad. It just hasn't been as hypey as his usual play, which is probably better for CLG, other than him trying to get picked to kill every game.
Yeah, I think that with the addition of Afro Moo, that I think their team synchronization is quite a bit better because it used to just be the Double Lift show, and now it's more centered around actual teamwork, and I think that will help CLG in a sense that they will have their very first chance at winning Worlds this year.
North America's first chance at winning Worlds this year.
That's true. North America's very first chance because TSM last year lost so abruptly to Samsung.
Man, well, they're not even gonna get out of Worlds, or get out of, not even gonna get out of groups this year.
That's very true.
Probably.
I can't picture them getting out of groups.
It would take one hell of an upset for Cloud9 or CLG to be kicked out of groups too.
That's very true.
Especially Cloud9.
Especially Cloud9 because
they would have to lose. Well, not no. They would have to lose most of their games and then still lose a tiebreaker.
Yep, and I think that one thing that will push Cloud9 to the knockout stage is the momentum that they have, because momentum is one of the most important things with League of Legends. I think that when you're on a win streak, you're more likely to perform well, whereas if you have many, many losses in your past, that you will be more likely to tilt.
Truth. Some last thing I saw today. Did you see the G2A has been banned from sponsoring the League of Legends?
Yep, I saw a news article that referred to G2A and Kingwin, which is totally understandable because if I was Riot, I would not want somebody who sponsored or provided such anti-code of conduct services like they do
selling
with
accounts.
They're selling of fresh 30s and they're boosting and other things like that. So I can definitely understand Riot's mindset and not wanting to have them.
Although I do see selling and buying accounts like that as being violation of terms and conditions, but I think Riot should take the WoW approach to having a level 30 account and let you be able to pay for an upgrade to level 30, so you're not like me and you're stuck trying to level up a Smurf and it takes forever to get to 30.
That's true. The best they can offer are the XP boost, and I could understand the reasoning for not wanting to sell boosts to level 30s, but I think that it would definitely help in a sense that it would take money out of the pockets of these organizations that basically stand for what Riot does not. So.
Now, what they should do, or not should, but could do, I think it'd be neat, is if, let's say you have an account, you hit level 30, you hit level 30 and you get ranked. At that point, a button in the store should open up that lets you, for like, I don't know, $20, you can buy another account at level 30. But you can only buy that account if you hit level 30 and get ranked.
I think that would definitely
that would stop from people just buying level 30 accounts, being a new player, not knowing anything, and ruining people's games.
Yeah, that would definitely be a very fair way to do it because I know that it does take a lot of effort and time to level up your account to level 30, but it's all beneficial because when I first started playing the game, I had no idea what I was doing, and leveling up and socializing with other people who do know what they're doing was one of the most helpful experiences that I was offered.
Recently, I've started a Smurf account where I will play Ari all the time, no matter what, and I'm currently level 9, I think, and my last game last night, I decided to try Ari ADC. The entire time the game was going on, the support I had was flaming me for going ADC Ari, even though I ended up going like 25-4, I think. The whole time, she was freaking out because Ari is generally an APC, because everything's skilled with AP, which ADC Ari is actually, it's okay. It's viable, I think. Not probably in really high elos, but...
Yeah, I think that her damage output definitely has a lower cap than some of the other ADCs, but that is one good thing that I like about having accounts that is not my main, because you get to try out new things, and I think that that is one thing that this community struggles with, is adaptation to the meta is very, very difficult for some of the community because they do not like the change.
And being open-minded sometimes.
Yes.
Like, if you want to take Jinx top, and it's not in a rank game, or if it is a ranked game and you take Jinx top and you do really well, that's fine. But if it's something that doesn't work, like, I don't know, Sona jungle. If you want to try Sona jungle, you can go for it. Just don't do it in a ranked game.
Yeah, that is definitely something that you should try out in normals first. But if you do end up getting paired with somebody who wants to try something very, very different and ranked, I would just mute them immediately and report them at the end if they do poorly, so you don't have to play with them again, if you please. But I think that at the beginning of the game, everybody should be open-minded, because I think that just about any champion can work just about anywhere if you are mechanically sound enough.
One thing I hate saying is people trying something new and then immediately someone's like, report this person for assisting enemy team.
Yeah.
Just because you're trying something new.
The instant reporting is definitely annoying, especially with some of the meta changes happening so quickly that we can't keep up. And sometimes people will see something in a LCS game and decide that they want to try it, and there's nothing wrong with that if they do it well. I just ask that they understand what they're trying before they actually try it.
Yeah. Jeez. I saw someone trying to do Gangplank mid, but they built AP Gangplank mid. That does not work that well at all.
Yeah, I bet the ult hurt, but other than that, AP Gangplank, not viable.
Anyways, this has been episode 1 of the Pick and Ban podcast. I'm your host, Thresht in Peace.
And I'm your co-host, the Tristana bot.
Thank you for listening, and we'll see you on the fields of justice.